Good morning, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's Thursday, the 26th of April. This is your morning setups video. So we're going to get a small gap up today, not huge, but definitely a gap up. You can see we closed right around here and, right here on the SPY, and you can see we're already up a bit here. So nice little gap up here. 8-day is our next spot. If we're going to run, we got the 8-day here at roughly 265.60. It'll come down a little bit. So we don't have that much room into the 8-day. The 21 days there, by the way, the 8-day and the bottom of these candles come together. That would be your first point of rejection, the 8-day and the bottom of this candle right around that same area, right? Assuming we get through that, 21 days right ahead at 266. And then if they really want to get going, they try to engulf this range in these candles. Support remains here on the 200-day or the bottom of this candle, right? You have different areas here we can look at this point. So as we go into today, just some ideas of what we're looking at the SPY. IWM continues to hang in better, continues to look better than the rest here, whereas everything else is in pulling back. The IWM is not far off its all-time high. Look at this, stone's throw, performing better. We've been saying this for a while. Outperforming should be go-to status if you want to go to an index long. Okay, overnight, what else? We always look at oil. Crude is kind of just hanging out there, going up now a little bit here in the last half hour or so. Crude looks fine, continues to look good. At some point, this could start becoming a headwind for the markets if we start breaking 70. Be aware. What are bonds doing? I did dump my short bond position yesterday, almost all of it. Bonds are up, right? A little bit of a bounce here. All right, this is kind of expected. I don't mean this is long-term. It's just reverting back to the means. And Bitcoin had a couple days of selling, and I think it was trying to bounce this morning a little bit, trying to hold here. Big area for it to hold, see if we can rebuild and go. Not the end of the world. We'll see how it does now. All right, so coming into today, what are we looking at? First of all, we've had a lot of earnings. So first of all, Facebook shocked everybody. Users were intact. Guidance was good. $9 billion buyback, beat on earnings, up big here, back to this 170 area. So they're right back up into this range. This is playable today. First of all, option players are going to get paid on this right now on the open. $8 was the implied move. They're getting a, what, $13, $14 move. This is in play. A lot of people are short this at this point. You have a gap here. So keep an eye on Facebook here. See how it handles this area. Can it bust through, right? We're above the 50-day. Right here's your 200-day at 173. Then you got this gap right above here. So let's just go put it on here right now. We'll just put this in place so we know it's there, right? And the gap starts. I would say the gap actually would start a little lower here, but I always get to things with this. So I'm going to move it down. Top of this candle is what? 174, 173.40. I can't type today. All right. 173.40 in. We'll keep an eye on that area. See how it handles that area. You got the 200-day there, then you got the 100-day, and then you're into the huge piece of it, the void. So we'll keep an eye on Facebook here today. Facebook did good, looks good as well. We've also got Twitter today with multiple upgrades. Multiple upgrades on Twitter today. One intraday upgrade yesterday from Raymond James. Hold in okay. We'll keep an eye on this name as well. Banks today are going to be an area we're going to focus on. I already posted all the open interest changes for you guys, but since I'm going to post this publicly, you guys can see what I do. Huge, huge changes on the banks, right? So first of all, Goldman Sachs doesn't catch call buying like this often. Massive call buying, especially in weeklies and the October 260s. Big time buying into Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs has been a very tough name. It's taken me for small losses lately. I have a hard time going back to this name, but I'll keep an eye on it because it can move. This thing can move 10 bucks in a day. This thing could bounce all the way back up to, let's say, 245 without a second thought here today if it really wants to go. The one I am long in is Wells Fargo Chase. I'm long Wells Fargo because, well, Wells Fargo saw this 20,000 option monster into July 55s. I had a large stake in that. I took half of it off yesterday when I was up over 20% the first 25, 30 minutes. I'll go from there. The reason I took it off, well, because, you get a big move like that, I can now buy it back maybe cheaper down here. We'll see. If not, I'll be good with it and I'll play it out. So Wells Fargo is good. Bank of America had nice flow as well. Citi was not as clean, just to point that out there. But the banks look good. The banks, they've been trying to buy them for the last 2 days. trying to get going here, trying to hold this area. So we'll keep an eye on the banks today. I do like them a lot. Netflix, I do have a small position in the May 330s. And the reason is they have Analyst Day today. So we'll see if this can get going. They have UBS and Analyst Day for UBS today. So maybe we get a pop. We'll see if we can get something going there. What else today? CAT, by the way, those calls they bought yesterday, the May 143 calls. And where's CAT? Why can't I find my CAT? There it is. May 143s. You'll notice they're not here. They're gone. Now, they might have rolled to the 150 calls. It's possible, but I'd be a little bit more careful there. So CAT, those calls are gone. CAT was a nice trade yesterday. Those that caught it, they bought them right into the lows. Nice move up. No wonder they probably took them off here. Maybe we get a day two. I'm not sure. What other one is Yandanks, huge buying in the August 34 calls yesterday into earnings, 27,000 plus. Looks good here as well. So some other names I want to take a look at today. So Tesla's down a little bit. Chanos is just on bashing it again. It looks like it wants to fall apart. The problem with this name is every time it looks like it wants to fall apart, it gets some news and it goes up. That said, it's kind of leaking down here slowly but surely as we head into earnings next week. Tesla looks like more of a short than a long to me. Cannot reclaim the 8-day here. Try shorting it off the 8-day if you get it. If not, just ignore it, or unless you see big volume, go long. That's kind of how I'm dealing with that. AMD had good earnings last night, up nicely. It's a nice chip maker, finally getting a pop. We'll see if this one's in play today. It's not up all that much, so this one can move if it wants to go. Qualcomm had good earnings last night, did not hold its gap. So keep an eye on Micron today with those earnings. We have Intel tonight and Microsoft tonight. Maybe Micron tries to wake back up here. Definitely something worth looking at from here. Facebook, Stifle, saying it's reiterating a hold with a hold target of 175. Twitter, Stifle reiterating a hold. But okay, so we're seeing that. CMG, there's nothing you can do with this here unless you want to try to short it. I wouldn't. Massive, huge earnings beat, up incredible amount. I wouldn't be chasing this at the open, but just so you know, big beat there. GM had very good earnings, not enough to move the needle evidently at this point. So we'll see how this sets up a little bit later today. UPS had earnings, but guided in line. Not a great setup. That's going to hit FDX as well. So just be aware of that. What else today do we look at? X reports tonight. Right, I'm not touching it. Maybe I'll scalp it quickly if I see some action in it. But after what we've seen in the rest of some of these names that were really high flyers, I'm going to be careful. AAL guided down, by the way, for the year. American Airlines. That is not good for the airlines market. So we'll see how they all handle this as well. So you got to get the idea today. Very mixed out there. Very tough spot here, guys. I don't think this market's going to fall apart. Probably better to long off the 200-day than to try shorting here. But we'll see how we handle today. We had a nice reversal candle yesterday. See if we can get some follow through. 8 days, your first resistance. We'll go from there. And we'll watch the flow today. Honestly, for me, it's about the banks. The bank seems to be where they want to go. As energy names have run a ton. I was taking profits yesterday in a lot of my positions on energy. And we'll see what this brings. So I'll be back live at 9. If you're not a member and you're not a subscriber, I'm giving you a preview of what I do today. Come on over to smartoptiontrading.com. Right, come on in. Going in, you can have two options. You can sign up for real-time option flow. This is where we do the morning setups videos, option flow throughout the day. I post news in my trades. I go live usually from 9 to 9:30 every morning. I go live during the day when events warrant, and I do a nightly video wrap-up call. So you get an idea of all the flow, everything that's happened, what looks good, what I traded, what's swingable, what I still like, what I don't like about these markets. In addition to that, we do a subscriber-only webinar where we're teaching every Thursday night at 6 o'clock. That's tonight if you sign up today. And if you're looking for help, I do teaching. I can sign up for mentoring. I can help you with your trading, maybe point out some things you're doing wrong, teach you technicals, teach you options trading, or just teach you the basics of trading. So if you're interested, smartoptiontrading.com, come on in, give us a try. I'd love to have you on board. With that said, I hope everybody's doing good. And for people in the service, I'll see you at 9 a.m.